Pitching out of New Jersey, we have Sneh Kadakia, founder of The Drop-In.
Thanks so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Sneh Kadakia, and I'm the founder and CEO of The Drop-In. Whether or not you already had the flexibility to work remotely prior to the pandemic, almost everyone on the call today and around the globe has now undergone the world's largest work-from-home experiment. And for the millions of us that live in suburb areas, working under less than ideal conditions at home, we have quickly come to realize the complete lack of work-related spaces and services in our communities. As an entrepreneur and mom living in Princeton, New Jersey, my 3-year-old son has become a staple on most calls, which is both fun and extremely challenging. Flexible workspace is a $26 billion global industry, but the majority of those spaces are located within major suburban cities, and their services cater to a very small group of customers and professional needs. We are positioning The Drop-In to be the first major flexible workspace player in the untapped suburban market. As professionals and students continue to adapt to virtual work and learning environments, we want to be the primary work near home provider. Our vision is to develop an asset-light, franchisable model that mutually benefits the communities that we're in, as well as the local businesses surrounding our centers. We are selecting specific towns based on their demographic makeup, proximity to public transportation hubs, and co-location to colleges and universities. We have honed in on essential services and amenities that enable productivity and collaboration, such as individual phone booths equipped with monitors. And further, we've created simple and on-demand options so customers can pay as they go or pre-purchase discounted packages. Most importantly, our entire guest experience is driven by in-house technology, from search to on-site check-in. With multiple locations across many geographies, our goal is to cultivate a two-sided marketplace that enables our customers and centers to thrive. And of course, in the light of the ongoing pandemic, we have the strategic advantage of designing our spaces with the highest health and safety standards. Our business model and space layouts are built to accommodate lower occupancy rates and social distancing measures. Joining me in this venture is Scott Sussman. With our combined backgrounds across technology and operations within people-centric industries, we are able to tackle every aspect of this business together. Further, we are fortunate to have numerous advisors and rich networks to bring our concept to market quickly and thoughtfully. Today, we have narrowed down the initial locations for our first center, one within a residential community and the other within an opportunity zone. We have 3 asks for today. 1, we are raising capital to cover build-out costs and operating expenses for our first 2 locations. 2, we continue to seek out connections to guide our decision-making and find avenues for scalability. And 3, we are ready to speak with companies, colleges, and service providers to secure partnerships and networking opportunities. So thank you for your time today, and I look forward to your thoughts and questions.
All right, next up, pitching out of Atlanta, we have Anders Lilovic, founder of Focal Point.
And I'm here to talk to you today about my solution. I developed Focal Point as a company when I realized, after 25 years as a procurement executive, that there were no tools for procurement professionals to do strategic planning, map projects to meet those strategic plans, and to facilitate the projects after the fact, to track benefits and to ensure that plans are being met. Hence, I brought Focal Point Procurement to be. The problem is, like I said, the procurement department uses Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoints, and email to create strategies, and it's an outdated manual process. And as you can see from the slide, they're completely on an island. And if you think about all the different things that have to come together to create a complete strategy with stakeholder buy-in, it's a big undertaking and it requires a lot of work. And if you think about, what you need to figure out is the spend, how much money is on contract, who the stakeholders are, who the vendors are. And if you don't already have all that stuff together, it becomes very, very challenging to create a strategy that's coherent. And very often, procurement professionals have to do this after the fact as they are getting contracts ready. And oftentimes, they have to start over again, which requires a lot of rework, and it becomes a time-consuming process. It's frustrating for both stakeholders and vendors. Focal Point facilitates all this through AI powering best-in-class processes. But the first thing we do is consolidate all the data. We aggregate it in and pivot it on an axis we call category management or categories. A category can be anything from management consulting to IT hardware, IT software, contract manufacturing, anything like that. And we take each of these categories through a process where we categorize the risk and importance of that category to organizations. Then we figure out what the relative supply market positioning is. So how much power does the supplier have versus the buyer? Based on those things, we develop recommendations using the AI engines and let the organizations design and create strategies that meet their needs rather than generic market needs. After that, we map the projects that are needed to be executed in order to fulfill that strategy. And afterwards, we track the progress towards achieving those strategies by updating the data and continuing to renew recommendations as the data changes over time. We have made quite a bit of traction. We started with market validation and creating a prototype after we filed for the patent. We have a provisional patent currently, and we're filing for a complete patent later on. Using the prototype, we were able to secure our first letter of intent client, and we are very close to getting a second as we are rolling out the pilot sometime in October. We're in full development at the moment, and we have great traction, and we're making good headway. In addition, we have been accepted to the Founder Institute Accelerator starting in October, so I think that's a very good fit for us as we are rolling out the product as we're getting into the accelerator program. We have a fantastic team. Combined, myself and Edward Chick, our COO, has over 50 years of experience in procurement. Myself as a practitioner and him as a leading sales organization in the vendor space. He has been managing large vendor organizations in the procurement space. We also have fantastic advisors and IT support people to help us along the journey. We are very well positioned to bring this forward. What we're asking for today is obviously we're raising some capital, so we want your consideration for that. We also seek connections with industry to help us guide us on the journey. And last but not least, if there are any clients out there who this product could fit in, we would be very helpful. This helps organizations save money, reduce risk, and increase productivity. And with that, I'll be happy to take your questions.
We have, pitching out of Mexico, Renato Carrega, founder of Tegger. Renato, your time starts now.
My name is Renato Carrega. I am the CEO and founder of Tegger, and I'd like to talk to you today about an important problem in digital advertising. Today, 77% of digital ad spend goes towards search and social media sites, whereas users only spend around 36% of their time on those sites. The reason for this is that search and social media have much more accurate data to target advertising and content correctly. That makes a site such as Facebook have 2.6 times a better click-through rate. That means the conversion of impressions to clicks than the average ad on the Google Display Network. These ads also convert clicks to dollars almost 10.3 times better, making them simply a more compelling case to invest in. Tegger gives content sites software and information to better know and monetize their audience by sharing with them intelligence on who their audience is and tools to engage this audience with content catered for their interests. It works in the following way. A user signs up to Tegger without needing to download any software and on the partner site and starts providing information as they browse on the content site, getting rewards for doing so. They can also fill out surveys on themselves to get additional points that they can convert for prices. Sites and advertisers get precise data and software to know who the audience is so that they can better target content and advertising to these specific audiences. And finally, brands can place their products on our marketplace to get new users as affiliates in exchange for a fee. We currently are present on 4 content sites, including Latin America's leading native digital content site, and are in the process of getting on 3 more. We have more than 18,500 users who have already traded in their points for rewards over 40,000 times. We've also seen that our users browse more deeply and more recurringly than non-Tegger users, which is valuable to sites in and of itself. We have a fantastic team to get this to the next level. I have experience in the blockchain space in aligning incentives for different stakeholders via token models, having founded Mexico's first cryptocurrency investment fund. And our CTO has founded a digital product in Colombia. We're also backed by a group of talented developers and data scientists and have strategically placed advisors in the digital media and digital product landscapes. We're currently raising a pre-seed round and would love if you can join us in creating a fair data revolution. Thank you.
Next up, pitching out of Los Angeles, we have Amanda Bender, founder of Kilo.
Tell you a little bit more about Kilo today and why I'm doing this. So let's start there.
No audio.
I was a therapist and worked in neuroscience before making the jump into tech 5 years ago. For the majority of my life, my closest circle of friends have been men. And at the intersection of this facet of my personal life and my professional experience led to the insight that Kilo was born from. Men, unlike women, are not socialized to monitor and track qualitative data. The mission of Kilo is to help men become more insightful and self-aware in order to improve happiness and health. In 2018, men died by suicide 3.5 times more often than women. During the time of COVID-19, mental health has declined further. The problem is men are not supported in tracking and learning from qualitative data. Society has pressured men to track quantitative metrics like hours slept, steps taken, pounds lifted, tasks completed. In contrast, women are also socialized to track qualitative metrics like the quality of sleep, energy, libido, mood, relationship, for example. And this is introduced to the tracking of menstrual cycles. Men too can improve their happiness and health by becoming more insightful about their qualitative state. But how do they do that? They use Kilo. Kilo is an app for men to track qualitative metrics on a daily basis. In turn for their diligence, Kilo will provide actionable data visualizations and narrative insights. In 2019, we did 2 pilots to understand product market fit. We ran it manually via SMS. All participants reported value in participating, and many suggested the experience led to profound personal insights and positive lifestyle changes. The team is made up of our product designer, myself, and our technical advisor, Xander Oxman. Kilo is currently in the process of raising a pre-seed round. Don't miss out on moving the needle on men's emotional fitness. You can email me, bender@kilo.app, to support Kilo. We're building better humans. So if you want to sign up, you can request access to Kilo at www.kilo.app. And lastly, Kilo is working with Startup Hut on an Entrepreneurs Wellness Hour podcast, currently called A Kilo of Wellness, coming in August. So mahalo, Startup Hut. Love to take your questions. I'll pop over into that room, and thank you everyone for your time.
Hi everyone, my name is Wayne and I'm the CEO at cargoscout.com. Logistics can make and break a business. My startup is focused on cutting the time spent in coordinating shipments and helping logistic companies lower their costs. The problem is that it takes a logistic coordinator 90 minutes and 60 responses to deliver a shipping container. Employees often re-enter the same information up to 4 times. This costs them $78 per shipment. The entire West Coast ports, not including the rest of North America, moves 8.5 million containers a year, costing $663 million. Furthermore, because logistic companies deal with numerous shipments one at a time, it is very difficult to identify what loads can be combined to reduce the need for a second run. By doing data processing for our customers and our vendors, our B2B SaaS product reduces the time spent to 20 minutes and helps save $150 million across our coverage on the West Coast. This provides a single point of contact to process information and eliminates re-entry of data for all stakeholders. Furthermore, with the data, we help identify opportunities to optimize shipments that minimizes the need for a second run and lower CO2 emissions and maintenance costs. Our competitors are Flexport and Uber Freight. Both Flexport and Uber have developed their own exclusive technologies to compete with other logistic companies. I am the sole business founder. During my 3 years in logistics management, I have made numerous industry connections and successfully sold $40,000 in revenues within a single month at a former startup in Y Combinator. I'm working with 2 UI designers, 3 advisors, and a web developer. We are based in Vancouver, and we started 1 year ago. We make our money by charging per shipment. We have delivered 19 shipments and processed $10,500 in revenues from year to date. Plus, we have a letter of intent for an upcoming project with a multinational logistics company. Thank you for your interest. Kindly reach out to me to discuss opportunities to scale.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking around and viewing our first Party Pitchers Pitch event. Have a great rest of your night and see you in September, where we will have 5 more amazing companies join us in the hut. Until then.